Hey student, watch this video and learn 3 reasons why you don't understand native speakers. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Hello there. First of all, thank you so much for joining me on another English lesson. From Monday to Friday, I post all kinds of English lessons because I want to make sure that you become a better and more confident English speaker. So consider subscribing. Yeah. Anyways, my friends, let's dive into the content. Today I want to talk about 3 reasons why you don't understand native speakers. Now, the first reason why is you never practice listening comprehension. Now, you need to understand the difference between listening and listening comprehension exercises. I come across many English learners who, despite studying a lot and listening to many audios in English, they never sit down to study and practice comprehension. And what is that supposed to mean? Well, if you listen to an audio, but you never test what you have just listened to, how do you know you really understood? And more importantly, how are you going to measure your progress, your evolution, your improvement? And this is the number one reason why English learners don't understand native speakers, because they never practice comprehension, they never exercise this. And believe me, there are many types of English exercises that you can do, listening exercises, that will help you gradually improve your comprehension levels. But probably because you study alone or because you never came across this kind of exercise, you don't do that. You just hit play and listen, and then one day you listen to a podcast, on another you watch a video, on another you watch a movie or a TV show, and you expect that to be enough to help you improve your listening skills. I'm studying Italian by myself, and I did this listening exercise, and I was very surprised because I tried to follow the students' strategy. Just listen and that's it. And the first time I listened, I thought, wow, I understood a lot. Hello, my comprehension is amazing. But then I decided to follow my strategy. I hit the button again, listened, and I answered some questions from the audio. That's when I realized that my comprehension was not as accurate as I had imagined. I really had proof that my brain was playing mind games, was tricking me into thinking that I could understand. So there is a big difference between just listening and really exercising your ears, exercising your comprehension. So if you don't do any kind of exercise to test your knowledge, to measure what you really understood, by the time you have to talk to a native speaker, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you won't understand much, and you will feel frustrated because there will be that sensation that you're not making progress in your listening skill. Anyways, next reason why you don't understand native speakers, and this is a very important one, and it's also connected to how you study. Well, what you don't study. Connected speech. And Teacher Prix, what is this connected speech? Well, this is a very important aspect of the English language. You know when you're listening to a native speaker and you feel like you can't understand anything because you feel like you have this impression that the person speaking is eating all the words? Well, that kinda happens. Connected speech is basically when you connect one word to another, making this word, well, apparently become one. And this is very common in English. For example, a very basic example. You don't say, I like it. I like it. Kit. I like it. You don't say, turn on. you say turn on, turn on. You don't say I work in an office. You say I work in an office. I work in an office. Because of this, many English learners have a real difficult time to understand native speakers. And let me tell you, there are many rules about connected speech, many simple rules that will help you not just do it, but understand it. So if you feel like, oh, it's too difficult for me to make this sound, okay, it's a natural part of the learning process. This happens. But by learning this, you also learn to improve your comprehension because you start to spot patterns. You start to identify, spot patterns when native speakers are speaking, and you will not have that feeling that the speaker is just speaking fast, when in reality, you don't know about connected speech and how Americans connect the words when they are communicating. Now, how can you work on this? On my channel, I don't talk much about connected speech, but there is a video coming. I have some videos talking about it, but I don't go so deep. But I don't have a lot of videos talking about it. I will make a video very soon. I don't know when, but it's in the schedule. Now, find YouTube channels and lessons that really teach how to do it, how to identify, so that you can train your ear to identify the moments when native speakers do this. And let me tell you, there are many moments when they do that. That's how you improve your comprehension, okay? And hey, if you're enjoying the lesson, make sure to hit the like button, and if possible, share this lesson with your friends on your social media, on WhatsApp groups, because you really help the channel grow and you help spread this lesson so that more people can learn, okay? Anyways, reason number 3, you are only learning standard English. Yes. What is the standard English? Well, the basic, well, I wouldn't say basic, but the necessary English for you to communicate to other people, okay? Now, as you go deeper in your English journey, you will begin to see other things, other words, other expressions. Here on my channel, for example, every week, I post lessons about vocabulary. I have many videos about vocabulary. And why is that? Because I know that when you only study standard English, just things that you can use to talk about very limited subjects, by the time you listen to a native speaker, it'll be difficult to understand, because in reality, if your vocabulary is not sharp, it'll be very difficult to understand native speakers as well. Native speakers use tons of different words, tons of slang, vocabulary, expressions, proverbs, idioms, phrasal verbs, local words, depending on where they're from. Students need to learn to study that, okay? So here on my channel, you have a lot of vocabulary lessons where I try to show you what native speakers use on everyday conversations. So if you just study English from the book, conversations from the book, you are not going to learn. One very common example, I have had many English learners who learned, very basic vocabulary about restaurant. And when I show them the real English for restaurant, they were like, really? They say that? Can't I just say, I would like? Well, you could say that, but there are other ways to say the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is, vocabulary will also impact your result. And this is connected to the standard English that most English learners study. And to top it off, if we think about problem number 2, reason number 2, connected speech, that's why it gets really difficult to understand native speakers, because they're using words you're not familiar with. They're using expressions you're not familiar with. And on top of that, they are connecting everything, eating up the sounds. So that's why it gets very difficult to really understand what they're saying. So all of these reasons combined will make your life difficult when it comes to understanding native speakers. And I'm pretty sure that based on feedback I get from people who follow my channel, who watch my lessons, emails that I receive from you guys, many of you have these three problems, maybe one, maybe two, or maybe the three ones. Okay? Now, Teacher Prix, do you have any final recommendations? Do you have like a step-by-step of what I should do? Of course! You've come to the right place. Now, step number 1. Exercise. You really need to do listening exercises. Answer questions about the audio. True or false. Complete. I know these exercises may sound like, ugh, they're so boring. But you need to do them, okay? I have worked with many English learners from all over the world. And whenever I apply these exercises, whenever I give them this kind of exercise, they all have comprehension improvement. I also use videos. I also use podcasts. But I always do exercise. I do comprehension. I ask them to explain to me what they understood. I have some answer the question exercises, organize the text exercise from the audio because I am testing their comprehension. So find resources where you can have this moment to really do an exercise about the audios you hear, okay? Step 2, connected speech should be part of your study routine. Just like pronunciation is important, listening skills, reading skills, studying connected speech is connected to how much you're going to understand when native speakers are communicating, because they do that all the time. They link the sounds and they eat up sounds, and when we don't know that, it's almost like they're speaking another word or creating another word. So find channels here on YouTube that have more lessons about connected speech that will help you. I'm pretty sure there are very specific channels that focus on this because it's a very broad subject with a lot of rules and explanations. And you can also listen to native speakers so that you can practice and repeat after what they say. And finally, step number 3, improve your vocabulary. Every day there is a new word coming up in the English language. Therefore, it's vital that you learn new words, vocabulary, new expressions, new idioms, new phrasal verbs, because there's a very good chance that your vocabulary level is not so good. Consequently, your comprehension level will not be that good either. By improving vocabulary, you improve comprehension. There's no other way. Okay? Other than that, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Come here in the comments and let me know if you have any of these problems. What is your listening comprehension like? If it's difficult for you or easy for you, I would love to know. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!